Step right this way to our cabaret. Don't wait to be invited. Just check your room. You'll all find room. Come in and get excited. Then shake your feet, sit down and eat corned beef or macaroni. Our food will fight, but when it's sliced, it's just a lot of baloney. Roast duck. Hey, beef stew. Make that two. Why don't you wake up and chop that steak up and... Hey!
And 1 cup of custard.
Plenty of mustard.
Change those potatoes to French fried tomatoes and... Oh! One roast lamb!
I want ham.
Bake up, ambitious. Pass my pernicious. Mark Schnell.
Where's my roast duck? Here we come, mister. Right on the way. Nice hot roast duck with the gravy just oozing out. Mm-hmm.
I have to have lobster, but when I'm having my lobster, I have to have
But
I want to have my mountain, but when I'm having my mountain, I have to have you. I'm so blue, waiting for you to come. Oh, I can't go on like this. Give me a kiss, huh? And let you. Boo-boo-ba-doo-ba-doo. I want to make whoopee. And if I want to make whoopee, I have to have boo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo, boo-boo-ba-doo, whoopee.
Da-da-da-da. I want to start with it. Better get me something.
All right, everybody, we are live now for our Father's Day edition of our Sunday watch parties. I am your host, Sharon, and I am joined by Matt today. Welcome, Matt.
Hello, everybody. Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, and I like to celebrate moms and dads, whether you are dads, have a dad, used to have a dad, if your dad has passed, like mine. We'll celebrate Father's Day along with everybody else. So to start off, that was Betty Boop's first appearance in 1930s Dizzy Dishes, sometimes called Dirty Dishes. The rendition of Betty Boop that is in the public domain is that one that you saw with the floppy ears. She was patterned after a French bulldog. She was supposed to be a French bulldog after, I guess, a star from the 20s, Helen Kane, I believe her name was. And that was her very first appearance. So that's a time capsule back to when they made cartoons way back in the day. Made it all by hand. Are we all queued up for The Great Outdoors, 1988? We should be all queued up at Universal and MCA Company. Mine's about 10 seconds in or so. And give you guys a second to get queued up if you haven't already. And then Matt, if you want to give us a countdown, we will hit play.
Okay, everybody, get ready. We're going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
All right, there we go. All right, so this movie is going to take a minute or two to kick off, so let me do a shout out to everybody chatting along with us. Over in YouTube, we have Miss Swift, we have Alex Peacock, GH Zoner, Eric, Matt, you're chatting in the YouTube. Let's see, am I missing anybody? Eric, Alex Peacock, Johnny Devick, Calbot, did I miss anybody? I think that's everybody there. Over in Discord, make sure I'm not missing anybody. Hey, Matt, you're just posting away those awesome mug pictures, which will show up in one of the later scenes. Those glasses are super cool. Let's see. We have Miss Swift, Mr. Furzel, Eric. Alex Peacock is over there in Discord. All right. If I missed anybody, shout out. I don't want to miss anybody because without you guys, this would not be possible. All right, so to get started in our chat, this came along at a time in the late 80s. John Candy, Dan Aykroyd, they had been all over the place, years and years, been entertaining us. This is one of the few movies I think they appeared together. Matt, do you know offhand how many movies Aykroyd and Candy appeared together in?
No. You've got I was looking over both their and funny too, seeing as they've got so many movies I have not seen. I would think I'd seen, and then you get so many things that John Candy is credited for, but it's only a small bit cameo role, like Home Alone type credits he's in. So it's strange to try to break out exactly what constitutes a John Candy movie.
Anytime he appears in it, he would be credited with it. Hey, that's a John Candy movie. Hey, this is a Dan Aykroyd movie. You could also consider this Annette Bening movie. This is her very first appearance. She'll show up in just a later scene here.
Yeah, this was a movie I consider one of my favorites, and I thought I was just going to grab it out of my DVD library, and turns out I don't own it. I was confusing it with Summer Rental.
Yeah, Summer Rental also starred John Candy, where he was a burnt out air traffic controller, had to have a vacation. That year was probably, I'm going to guess 84, 85, or 86, if anybody knows off the top of their head.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting. It's like because this seems like one of his earlier roles, but it's like 2 years after Spaceballs, so it's strange.
And he's very prolific during this time. And also, fun fact, they were almost going to name this movie The Big Outdoors, but this was supposed to be released about the same time as Tom Hanks's movie Big, so they changed the name. So as we roll along, Johnny Devick is saying never seen this one nor heard about it. It did make its rounds on cable. It has been around for a very long time. But what you had mentioned before, Matt, it is very easily confused with another John Candy movie, Summer Rental. I don't know if this was what you would call a blockbuster back in the day.
I think it just made its rounds on television, cable TV. It's probably where I came across it. I don't remember this coming out in the theaters or seeing it in the theater.
Yeah, GHA, it's the projector guy from Last Action Hero. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And I love that shirt. I've been to Duluth. This is supposed to be set in, I believe, upper Wisconsin or Lakefront Cabin in Pokagon?
Yeah, this would be
Wisconsin?
Yeah, they're set. Yeah, I think set coming. Yeah, closer to meant to be Wisconsin, but of course filmed in California.
Yep, not too far from. I believe this is right around Yosemite. I think that's where they filmed it, or was that up by Lake Shasta?
Yeah, they're at a Bass Lake. Not too familiar where that sits on the map.
Alex is saying, loved this since seeing this on rental in the 80s. Yeah, back in the glory days where if a movie didn't get the love and the box office that it needed in the theater, it would jump straight into the cable circuit and the rental market, where sometimes it would be more successful and obviously the word would get out. And that's where I had met a lot of these movies that had become my favorites later on. Never saw them in the theater, but that rental market, going to the weekend Blockbuster or the mom and pop rental shops, all kinds of different finds.
And then it's funny too when you look up. It's like, yeah, where all these actors, where else you've seen them. So this is Stephanie Faracy playing John Candy's wife. She later goes on. She plays the mom in Hocus Pocus.
There you go. I did not. I guess, yeah. It has been a while since
If
I've
you
seen Hocus
remember that
Pocus.
one in the iconic dance scene where her Halloween costume is Madonna.
Oh my God, Madonna. Back in the heyday. Yeah, and back in the 80s, John Hughes was he just getting his start? I think we had talked about John Hughes's career in one of our other watch parties. He wasn't the straight up director of this movie. He was attributed as writing this movie. Okay, so the plot thickens. John Candy's character, let's get these guys' names straight. John Candy plays Chet Ripley, and Pharisee plays his wife Connie Ripley. Aykroyd and Benning just appeared as Annette Bening character is Pharisee's sister, so these guys are brother-in-laws. Benning and Aykroyd play Roman and Kate Craig. Interesting names. These are not just pull out of the hat generic names. I find that interesting. I think Aykroyd might have had something to do with naming his character Roman, which is not your traditional movie name.
And here we
but
get my infamous Star Wars glasses scene.
Yep, and here you go. Pay attention to those mugs on the table.
And it's funny that it's just random. It's like why they're on the set, who knows? And it's random because you have one cup from The Empire Strikes Back and the other cup from Return of the Jedi. So it's not even a match set. So it's just random. Just either just a random placement of what they had available, or if there's some deeper hidden meaning, who knows?
Hey, does anybody want to do research? They might have been on the set. Did someone bring them from their trailer, bring them from home, and just say, hey, let's do a product placement? Miss Swift, looks like this brother-in-law needs a knuckle sandwich. Miss Swift, have you seen this movie before? I don't want to give away too much, but he does make an appearance. He makes a grand entrance. And yes, it feels like he needs a big punch in the nose. He's one of those guys.
Yeah, and I think I think the character Dan Aykroyd is playing was originally meant to be a role for Chevy Chase, who wasn't available. He was filming something else at the time. And then John Candy recommended Dan Aykroyd. But after seeing this, I can't picture Chevy Chase playing the type of schmuck Dan Aykroyd is doing.
Yeah, can you imagine putting Chevy Chase in that role? Well, I mean, it might have worked.
Yeah, but it doesn't. He doesn't come across. Yeah, this whole character seems that I want to say the schwarmy, which Dan Aykroyd does really well.
Okay, so doing a little research, John Candy and Dan Aykroyd, they were in 2 movies together. This movie, The Great Outdoors, and then a couple years later, can anybody name the movie they were both in just a couple years after this? Now those 2 girls, the Craig daughters, they, I think, are supposed to be twins. But they, you can tell they're, yes, Miss Swift, Nothing But Trouble they were both in. And that has been a while since I have seen Nothing But Trouble. We might have to revisit it for a watch party.
The 2 girls there, they only have one other movie credit because they were apparently also in The Mosquito Coast, and that's the end of their career.
With Harrison Ford?
I believe so, yeah.
Calbot's mentioning they were both in the Blues Brothers, not the girls, but
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, I would imagine John Candy may have a bit role in the
did
Blues
he?
Brothers.
Did John Candy make an appearance? If anybody wants to find where he makes an appearance in the Blues Brothers, because it escapes me, put a GIF over in Discord. That would be fun to see.
Yeah, I always liked how there was not so much a rivalry per se, but there was always it's like I was always watching, back in the 70s when they all got their start, because you had Dan Aykroyd on Saturday Night Live and then John Candy on the Canadian version, SCTV.
Yeah, very different starts in their career, but this whole group of actors back in the day, they all converge in so many different ways and movies and appearances. It seems like back in the 80s and early 90s, you couldn't see any movie, comedic movie, or television show where there wasn't their influence. Johnny Devick, and it might be a spoof on that, the rentals often had crappy interior that was randomly picked with less focus on style. Oh, yeah. I think this is an homage to the family taking a vacation to a cabin that had a lot to be desired. It just gave you a roof over your head while you spend
Yeah,
your time
I
in
think I
the
think a
greater.
lot. Yeah, a lot of the dialogue, the more funnier jokes are like really subtle, hidden, under the breath statements. People, everyone's like, wait, what did you say? So they're talking about, yeah, like when they first, talk, they talk about how they, you know, improved this cabin, and then they also mentioned it. The decorations didn't cost as much as the Lysol.
Yeah,
It's just,
obviously these are old cabins, the old owners, caretakers. What did the gal say at the beginning? Yeah, like $50. It costs $50 to refurbish this or decorate it. Yeah, almost as much as almost as much as the Lysol. Okay, over there, Calbot posted the GIF. That's John Candy? All right. Guys,
oh
we're going to
yeah,
have to
yeah,
revisit the Blues
yep,
Brothers.
yeah. I also
Yeah.
like our dive into watch parties. Is where else have we seen Annette Bening in a watch party?
Exactly. And that is a great conversation starter for her. This is her very first appearance. Oh, and guys, pay attention to this story. I love this story that he's telling. That bear is almost as famous as the actors in this movie. That's Bart the Bear, a Hollywood legend.
Yeah, he said, yeah, the bear has a better movie career than any of the kids in this movie.
Yeah, I would think so because these kids, like you said, these two girls had one other appearance. The two boys,
Yeah, the
um,
the
I
youngest
don't
boy
recognize
has
them.
barely anything, just a couple. I think, yeah, he only has 5 movie credits. Um, the older actor, Chris Young, not much there. I found him. He was in a Warlock 2, just like
Yeah.
random. So not a big. Yeah, just didn't seem to launch many careers here.
Miss Swift was saying the teenage son was in PCU. Yeah, these are just not well-known child actors. The
That
ones
was
that
the
we have.
Yeah, the funniest
Um,
reference to his work was it also brought up a TV movie called Dance Till Dawn, which was filmed in the mall I was working at the time in California.
oh,
So it
not
was
heard of that.
yeah, it was
Dance
yeah
Till
funny
Dawn.
that it even pops up because it's Doesn't seem like it's available anywhere. It didn't show up in too many searches. But
Um,
it's a
yeah.
80s TV movie starring almost every teenage star of that time. So it's like Christina Applegate and Tempest Bledsoe, Tracy Gold, Matthew Perry.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, a lot of TV movies haven't translated to like the streaming market, so it might just be one of them that died a death and was on once and never again. Alex Peacock. So Annette Bening in A Watch Party. We have not done Bugsy or American Beauty or what else? She jumps out in movies like An American President. Um,
but thinking
as
what type of movies do we watch here?
Now we'll watch every type, but I think this is the
We
very first Annette
no,
Bening.
no, we've seen Annette Bening in A Watch Party.
Okay, then I'm gonna have to do a search, but I won't say it. Maybe. Oh yes, okay, we have, but it took me doing a quick search. We actually saw it. Do you remember when? Was it this year? Was it earlier this year or
Uh,
last
pro-
year?
that's probably last year, I think.
Okay. Yep. She was actually pretty prominent in, I'll give you, do you want me to give him a hint or you want to give a hint?
I'll just say it in a secret code language so no one will know. Ack ack
Oh,
ack 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 ack.
yep. That is right. We have seen her before. Um, yeah, and she did. She went on to have a long, long career and she's active to this day. Um, so so this story that he's telling about the bear, he's almost passing it off as in, oh, he just made the whole thing up, but he has this passing line that says, I embellished a lot, but the story's true, I just embellished. Um, but the way he's delivering it, really, it could go either way. You could think, oh, you're so full of shit, scared the crap out of us, um, or it's true. Uh, Alex Peacock, didn't she win an Oscar? Um, Anybody remember? Oh, did she win for? If she won for anything, wasn't it American Beauty that won all these Oscars? I don't remember her ever winning an Oscar. Was she? She's got to be nominated. Okay, thank you, Calbot. Nominated 5 times. Um, American Beauty came out 2 or 3 years after this one, and that is considered her breakout role. And I think she got nominated for that one. Was she also not? Was she also nominated for Mars Attacks? For some reason, I'm thinking she was. But yeah, the movie was just too bizarre. I don't think it would
Yeah,
have
I'm having trouble believing Mars Attacks was nominated for anything.
It has only been, I think, in the last 5 to 10 years that sci-fi/horror genre have been elevated to that level where they have been nominated on a frequent basis, or at least they haven't been overlooked because of the genre. I think the first time I had ever heard of a horror movie being nominated was, gosh, the one that made news, I think in 81, where American Werewolf in London, that was one of the very first horror movies ever nominated because it had been treated, the whole genre was like never taken seriously. So, okay, we are now introduced to the talking raccoons. Love these guys. And we don't even hear them talk so much, not in human voices, but we do have subtitles where we do actually find out what they're saying. Okay. Oh, Mr. Furzel is saying, yeah, good talk, Roman. You know, Aykroyd and Candy deliver very strong, believable characters in this movie. This is not just a typical slapstick comedic movie. There is almost like substance to it. Yeah, good question, Cal. But why would they throw out the hot dogs? Probably, I'm guessing Roman did. He has snobbish tendencies. Him or his wife probably threw him out. They just came into the scene, came into the movie like gangbusters. And we
I would
really get
imagine they would have
their
they would have thrown them out right in front of. They were probably setting everything out to go cook the hot dogs, and they would have just chucked them in the trash and said, "Nope, I've brought lobster."
Yep. All right, guys. So keep in mind, this is 1988, and Aykroyd is on a. They didn't call them cell phones back then; they called them car phones. But he said, yeah, the cellular network. That is what a car phone looks like back in the day.
Yeah, I think those are also called satellite phones.
Yeah, they would have to have something because back then they didn't have cell phone towers. So it would have to have been satellite. Thank you for the reminder, GH. Weaver was nominated in 86 for Aliens 2. Yep. Yeah, the 80s is when the horror genre just really not just exploded as far as tech goes, but performances. They were not just phoning it in. They were not just cheap movies thrown together. There are some fantastic sci-fi horror movies where it just blows you away as far as the performance goes. And this movie as well is not just a throwaway slapstick comedic movie like all the others. You know, I really get into the acting performances here. Yeah, Calbot, he just called it a cellular phone, which is weird because all the car phones back then would have to be satellite. Okay.
Yeah, this little kid, I keep thinking I've seen him in so many other movies, but I think it's just because he resembles Fred Savage.
Yeah. And how many movies did you say this kid was in? Just one other?
But it was about five. I think he had five
Five.
titles listed.
Um, yeah. So probably all four of these kids had been in maybe a total of what, 10 movies together, 10 to 15 movies. And, you know, we know the career of Candy went on for many years after this until his death in, I want to say
I think it
99.
was 94.
was it 94? Um, Aykroyd doing strong in his career. Benning's going strong. Well, kudos to everybody here wearing a life vest. I applaud them. It just makes it not so cringe. This movie came out. Does anybody remember? This was a June 1988 release in the prime time summer market. Does anybody remember what was in the theater at this time?
I don't remember what month, but I know Beetlejuice was 88.
Let's see. So, yeah, we could do a rundown as to what was in the box office at the time.
Like Johnny Devick making the jump the shark reference. Infamous scene with Fonzie from Happy Days.
Yep. Johnny Devick says there was a local TV icon that made a show last year, and he got lots of heat for not wearing a life vest in the show. Yep, safety first. Especially when you see, obviously there's a stuntman on the water skis, but some of the images is actually the actors out on the water, and I'm glad they're wearing life vests. It does make it more realistic. Yeah, he took a nice trip water skiing. Obviously, his character had done it before, right? His whole character, he grew up here, used to visit this area with his family quite a bit. And then the brother-in-law just comes and he thinks he's messing it up. I'm not so sure. Okay, so June of 1988. Boy, this takes me back. Some of the movies in the theater at this time: Crocodile Dundee, the sequel. I can't even remember what that sequel was about. I thought the first was plenty. Yep, we have Big, which came out at the same time this movie did. Rambo 3. So by 1988, we were on Rambo 3. Willow, The Great Outdoors. Red Heat, the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger and James Belushi. Bull Durham, Poltergeist 3. The Decline of Western Civilization Part 2, The Metal Years. I am not familiar with that one. The heavy metal documentary that had its theatrical release. Does anybody recognize that movie? The Decline of Western Civilization Part 2, The Metal Years. Oh, yes, Johnny Devick. It was the year after Masters of the Universe. Yep, Alice Peacock posted a gif of the Fonz literally jumping the shark. And yep, that was Willow. Die Hard. Die Hard was 86? No, 88. But I think Die Hard came out in either July or August. So it wasn't competing with any of those other movies. Let me do a search. Anybody remember when Die Hard came out, or was it later in the year it came out? I should know this. July 22nd of 88. So it came out a week after this. Oh, Alex Peacock. Yeah, the Deadpool, which we did a few weeks ago. Not in June though, but yeah, 88 was a heavy hitter year. Okay, so Miss Swift does recognize that movie. It was a documentary about heavy metal featuring like heavy metal bands and fans. It was a sequel to Decline, etc., the punk years.
So now that we're talking heavy metal, now I'm just bringing up the animated movie Heavy Metal, which John Candy did voice work for.
Heavy metal came out.
It
I'm
was
sure it was
1980.
before this one, right?
Yeah, it was like 1980, 81.
Yeah, man, you guys are way ahead of me. So Johnny Devick is saying Scrooged also. So Scrooge came out in 88. Yeah, Johnny Devick, it was a good year of fun. Alex Peacock, also Midnight Run and a re-release of Bambi. Yep, Midnight Run is on my list of watch parties. Oh yeah, Mr. Furzel, 80s had the best movies. By far, that was the best decade. So this scene should be really disturbing, but they make it light and comedic. But I mean, besides bringing a dead guy in and propping him up to enjoy his birthday, yeah, I mean, there's nothing really creepy about that.
He's just another decoration at the party.
Yep. So the girl in this scene who plays Cammy, the love interest of the teenage boy, she is not the other girl at this time that looks very similar. The actress. I can't remember her name.
The actress' name is Lucy Deakins, who did another one, yeah, about 10 movie credits, and then she went on to become an attorney.
Okay, she is the one that I was thinking of. A couple years prior to this, she did The Boy Who Could Fly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But she looks so different in this movie.
Yeah, she has an earlier role too in soap operas. Can't remember which one it was.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what, GH, they brought a dead person to a place in Vacation as well. Yeah. It's like a creepy, it is almost creepy, but you can make light of it. Where it's not so creepy. Yeah, like Weekend at Bernie's. The whole movie revolves around it. And you just make light of it. So they call this the bear dump. And so everybody in this movie thinks it's fun and comical to go watch the bears feeding in the dump. And of course, what could go wrong? Cowbot, yes, Vacation, also written by John Hughes. Yep, John Hughes has a very long and illustrious career, which is too numerous for us to mention. But if it's from the 80s, he's probably got his hands in it in some way. I think, was he most active in the 80s, or was it 80s and 90s?
You start off with the Brat Pack movies from the 80s, but then he's still going into Home Alone was what, early 90s?
That's a good point. Yeah, he went well into the 90s.
and also that's also the early Uncle Buck with Macaulay Culkin and John Candy.
Yes. Oh, yeah, Johnny Devitt. James Burrows died. Yeah, I heard about that yesterday. The man who single-handedly brought, um, way back in the day, brought Thursday night anchor shows. He brought Cheers. Did he have his hand in? I'm gonna have to look up his biography. Yeah. So Thursday night back in the day was Cheers. It was Friends. I don't know if he had anything to do with Seinfeld, but yeah, very long and prolific career. Yeah, he was Johnny Devitt. He was Hughes in the late 80s and early 90s. James Burrows was, I mean, he just had the Midas touch. Okay, there was. Choo 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 choo. Okay, so yeah, what you were saying before about what this was filmed in Bass Lake, California. It is a small resort town near Sierra National Forest. Okay, the fictional lake here. I know I'm going to butcher the name. Can you say the name, Matt?
Well, I
Because
don't
I know
want
I'm
to.
going to butcher it.
I couldn't even if they put the scene back up where it was spelled in front of me. I don't think I could say it. But just another the Potomac was the beginning of it. Let's stop there.
Yeah, Potawatomi Minimac. That's the whole name phonetically spelled and
So I've
pronounced.
got supercalifragilisticexpialidocious memorized. That's about it.
Yep. But there are a lot of scenes here that were on the back lot, so it's not all on location. Pretty nice sized budget. I think that it was like over 30 million to make this movie, and it was probably a big chunk of it went to probably, I'm guessing, the salaries. Yeah, Miss Swift. Yeah, that's exactly how you spell it. Yeah, probably practice saying that a few times. It's a mouthful. Yeah, GH Gesundheit, exactly.
Yeah, and it's like you need to spend some time in Wales and learn all the Welsh names of
Oh,
cities.
oh, good Lord. Oh, yeah, speaking of the raccoons, I don't know if they're in the credits, the end credits. We are going to sit through the credits though, because I think it's worth watching to the end of the credits, if I am
Yeah,
not mistaken.
yeah. There's an end credit scene. Yep.
Yep. Which was really unheard of, right? Back in the day. Um, this movie was, from what the research I've done, this movie was actually introduced At the end of the movie, she's having a baby. I guess there's an end credit scene that almost introduces us to this movie. And if anybody knows the history on that, yeah, please share, because I couldn't tell you the last time I saw that movie. Okay, Miss Swift, I think has it so we can pronounce it. Poteau Woteau Minimac. Oh, see, that's not such a mouthful.
You get Mini Mac just sounds like a small burger at McDonald's. A potato. Potato Mini Mac.
Yep.
Yeah, speaking of restaurants too, they've got this. I don't know why the A&W restaurant is included. Whether that was product placement or they'd paid something, but that's a false. That's just wherever they filmed in whatever local town setting. Yeah, that place got redressed as an A&W for some reason.
I'm guessing for product placement.
It would seem. I'm trying to remember how prolific A&W restaurants were back then. Don't see many of them now. They were
They're all over California.
Yeah.
And where I used to live, I'd never seen one, and now they're just everywhere.
Because now we get still the only ones we have out here that still does the actual drive-in where the waiters come out to take your order is the Sonic restaurants that I still have here. Other than that, yeah, A&W's disappeared or got turned into combo restaurants. So I know for a while we had a combo A&W KFC, and now the A&W is gone and it's just the KFC now.
Yeah, I guess the combo restaurants, they still exist. You could still find them. Sometimes it's obvious and they have those long-lasting partnerships. But yeah, I couldn't tell you the last time I saw a combo like that.
Yeah, it seemed to be too, like how mini malls, which also seems to be a thing of the past.
Yeah, I could do a quick search of. Talbot is saying, I'm guessing it was an A&W, but except for the sign on the menu, they seem to go out of their way to hide the A&W sign. So maybe A&W refused to pay for product placement. Let's see, we can do a quick search. Yeah, because if they didn't pay for product placement, they would have to cover everything up. Yeah, interesting. I'm not seeing anything on that restaurant, but the actual cabin, the interior of the cabin, most of it, yeah, is on a movie set. And it says the locally famous Ducey's Bass Lake Lodge and Bar and Grill stood in as the actual Pine Lodge in the movie. Yeah, so a lot of name changes and yeah. So at this point, are the brother-in-laws getting along? They're getting along, I guess. Here we go. This famous character actor, he's one of those guys. He just kind of randomly shows up in this movie, has one or two scenes as like a comedic relief. And Reg, his name in the movie, his claim to fame is, I think it's just hysterical. But I don't want to give it away because I think quite a few of you haven't seen this movie before.
Yeah, we'd seen this actor before. He was in Silent Night, Deadly Night. He was the store owner, Mr. Sims.
What is the actor's name? Do you have a feed on that?
It's Britt Leach. But he's also, I remember him. He's the dad in Weird Science, which I looked through the list, and I don't think we've done a watch party for Weird Science, which is also another strange John Hughes movie.
Haven't we? Why does that sound familiar?
It seemed like I did a quick run down through the list and didn't see it because I thought that's where because I remember we talked about this actor not too long ago, but yeah, if it wasn't the only things I could see where would be Silent Night, Deadly Night was where we would have seen him.
Calbot just posted a gif of that hysterical line that Roman says he's going to introduce Mr. Thick Dick to Mr. Urinal Cake. Just out of nowhere.
Yeah, that lens too is how much is scripted, how much is improv.
Yeah, that is a very good question. I am going to guess because John Hughes is the mastermind behind the script, but when you're hiring Candy and Aykroyd, I am guessing probably 80% of this movie, they're just reading off the script. But there's got to be some kind of improv at some point when these two actors are conversing that they can't help it, right? It's in their nature. This is where they came from. That line could be just off the cup Aykroyd. Weird Science, I feel like we have done that. Not in the last year and a half, but I think Creator VC did that, if I'm not mistaken. He was also in The Last Starfighter. We did The Last Starfighter, right? A couple years ago.
Yeah, I believe so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just sigh. It's just a bat. Thank you, Alex. It's a bat. Open a damn window, silly people. They're just kind of setting up for a very comedic scene. It's just a bat. Mr. Furzel, I had some ads. Where are we in the flick now? John Candy, Chet, is going back in the house to deal with the bat. And now he's coming right back out because he's like, no, F this. Well, I like, yeah, how Roman here, he's talk a good game. He's a loudmouth. He's just, look at me, I'm so good, I'm so smart, and yet he's not the one rushing in to save everybody from a little bat. He'll only go in with him and Chet. So they're going in, tag teaming a little bat. Um, this movie, we only have a little over a half hour left. This just went by quick. It's going really quick. Okay, Alex Peacock just posted that funny GIF of Joe Beth. What is her name? Joe Beth Williams. What movie was that GIF from? It's a very young Joe Beth in her earlier days. I'm going to say around the Poltergeist years, maybe early 80s.
Well, I'm still trying to decide if this bat prop is an actually decent. It looks, it looks like they might have just bought it, at the Halloween store, but it also seems like maybe it came off of the from the Munsters type of.
It's a real looking, it looks real, doesn't it? But it's probably just a little prop that they have on a string and they're making it bounce. But it's pretty realistic. Thank you, Alex. Okay, that's The Big Chill. Yeah, so that would be right around Poltergeist years. I think The Big Chill came out in 81. 81, I think.
Yeah, Calbot's got the wicker basket head from Big Trouble in Little China.
That's right. That's right. That's a good one, Calbot. Oh, no, The Big Chill was 83. Okay. Oh, yeah, The Big Chill, very, drama focused. It's a very dramatic movie.
All right, now Miss Swift, which photo of the bat did you find? So that's kind of looking like, is that the prop from Fright Night?
Oh, that does look like Fright Night. Okay, GH is way ahead of us. I think Candy could down a 96er. So as we go into this scene, so just keep in mind that 96 ounces is a big steak. That is what? 6 pounds? That's a 6-pound steak?
It's also here, they're showing it in the meat locker, but they also say nobody ever orders it. How long has that meat been hanging in the meat locker?
To eat a 6-pound steak, oh mercy. That reminds me of all of these food shows where one guy in particular, can't remember the name of him, but he would go around to all of these like food contest places where if you can eat, big stack of pancakes, a steak like this in under an hour or whatever the time frame is, you get your name on the wall. Their wall of fame. 96-ounce steak. That's a lot of it. But yeah, I could see Candy actually doing it. Not with a steak that's been there for years and years and years.
Yeah, but I do like the theme of this restaurant where everything's made out of logs. Even the menu was a log. This tray is a log. The teapots are logs. Everything's a log.
They really capitalize on the outdoor rustic nature of where they're at. And I notice how the chef, how his apron is just like covered in blood, as if what, he just went out and slaughtered the cow. Just picture that, guys, a 6-pound steak. Has anybody seen a steak that big ever in real life? I just almost want to throw up. Yeah, Alex, this is Food Sweats and the Shakes, definitely.
I had a similar experience. We was out somewhere, yeah, in the outdoors, small little town. A local mom and pop restaurant. Seemed like it was probably also lumberjack themed. Why I ordered the combo breakfast, thinking you're going to get a nice plate full of food. Everything came out on separate plates. We're talking like a three stack of pancake on where the pancakes are drooping over the edges of a big dinner plate.
Whoa.
And I also ate my like whatever 4-plate special.
Oh my goodness.
And I think when I was all done, I also ordered a cinnamon roll on top of it.
Did you get sick afterwards? Because I picture the scene, one of the scenes we should see coming up, we should see Chet getting sick from that because your body processes all that food.
Yep. Right there, he just ran to the bathroom.
There you go. And it's all going to come back out.
Yep, that was definitely in my youth when I was able to eat large portions of food.
Yeah, when your metabolism is faster than the food you consume, yeah. Yeah, Alex, at least he got a t-shirt.
Yep, also out camping, so yeah, a lot of activity. Not now where it's like I'll eat a small dinner and then take a nap.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I've noticed we all slow down in our as we age. When I hit my 50s, I mean it's all downhill from here. So this scene in particular, that was not on location, but it seems like they're on a sound stage somewhere, and that whole back mountain area was a matte painting. Did you see that? Do you feel like it was on location or? Oh yeah, this would freak me out. These leeches, I would scream as well. Yeah, GH, sun would definitely be up around 5 a.m. That's when it would start appearing over the mountains.
See, this is where you can tell that this is a fake A&W because all the shelving is big tin cans of vegetables, and no fast food restaurant does that.
Yeah, A&W would not have vegetables. Absolutely.
Yeah, they would not have giant cans of tomatoes.
Nope. So it seems like Annette Bening's character, what is her name again? Kate. Her name is Kate. So it seems like Kate's role in this movie is just to be superior with her husband. At this point, do we know whether it's just they're just like that? If they are, then what are they doing hanging out with the family it seems like they despise, right? They're always sticking their nose up at their life.
Yeah. We always
Or
got this. Yeah, it's like your basic odd couple story where the city mouse, country mouse.
and I think things are gonna boil over. Because it makes you wonder. They don't like being here. They weren't invited. Just what are they doing here? Yeah, Alex Peacock, it's exactly what I was thinking of. Every time I see leeches, it takes me back to the movie Stand By Me. Oh, it's gross. We have not done Stand By Me, have we? We've done a lot of the Stephen King horror movies. Some of his dramatic works, we haven't done too many, if any, actually. Yeah, even though, I mean, there's an argument to be made that Stephen King writes drama sometimes better than he writes horror. Um, yeah, Alex, I thought we did Stand By Me. Nope. Nope, I don't think we did. Um, it's on the list though. Yeah, Miss Swift, after that stunt with the camera, Roman would have caught hands. Yeah, absolutely. But it seems like, okay, now we have a big blow up. Um, okay, is that for real, Calbot? That I'm taken aback by that GIF that you posted, the spin cycle. Is that like for real? Over there in Discord, guys, I have never seen that before. Was that a real toy? That it almost seems made up. But I will hold my opinion because there's no way that I'm going to make an assumption on that because it probably was a real toy. Um, yeah, GH Soder saying no one is blowing anything out their asses. And Alex saying, yeah, that is an expression that I haven't heard in a good while. Um, okay, so yeah, Calbot was just doing a search of spin cycle and it popped up. Miss Swift, that was my original reaction. Looks like a lawsuit waiting to happen. If it was a real toy, I bet it was back in the late 70s, early 80s by the look of it. And if it was a real toy, I'm sure it didn't last long. As with a whole bunch of toys that you just wonder, how the hell did that come to market? And how did it stay on the market for so long when kids were getting hurt and dying? Okay, I'll give you an example. Alex says, I have seen weirder toys. By the sheer name, I'm going to throw out lawn darts. Has anybody ever played with lawn darts or heard of lawn darts? They are literal darts
Yep.
that you would throw in your lawn, and it had a point and it would stick in the ground.
Nope. It wasn't just to play them as intended. We would take those and throw them, see how high we could throw them straight up in the air.
I just shake my head. But lawn darts were around for quite a while before they weren't. And all of a sudden, kids started getting killed.
And they take those away from us and then just make us play horseshoes.
And we survived, guys. We survived. But this was back before the internet. We were outside all day and into the night doing crazy shit. Oh, man.
Yep. Remember, blowing things up with firecrackers.
I mean, just like we were feral kids, you know? It is amazing. You made it this far.
As long as we were home when the street lights turned on, everything was fine.
Yep, exactly. And when it got dark, all the moms and dads would start expecting their kids to show up. And if not, there was hell to pay. Okay, so the scene that we just saw where Roman was expressing, I mean, that was like a heartfelt, he was expressing himself. But I don't know if is he just like gaslighting to get sympathy? Because to me it sounds almost too convenient when Chet turns around and says, well, I don't remember ever doing that. Yeah, I could be wrong, but it almost seems like a ploy. Because his whole character, the whole movie, do you trust him? Do you believe him? Is he just a smarmy, kind of creepy, kind of salesman?
I don't know. It almost seems at this point in the movie that they're turning off into a completely different movie. And then we'll get to the point where we got to slam on the brakes and remember it's like, wait a second, this isn't the movie we were trying to tell. Let's finish the movie we started.
Yeah, and that's the sentiment. I think at a certain point it turned from this comedy that you would expect from Candy and Aykroyd to now it's like this heartfelt, whoa, we're feeling bad. I mean, there's a lot of crap under the surface of these characters.
Yeah, I'm also enjoying this incredibly rainy day here at the fair where absolutely nobody's getting wet.
Yeah, isn't that nice? No one in the background was getting wet at all. No one had an umbrella. No one was running for cover. GH, what is this investment? That is a good question. Guys like this, when they tell you, I've got an investment for you, I'm saving it for you. Yeah, if something is too good to be true, it is.
This is our, in the age of all the pyramid schemes.
Yep. Making 100, 200, 300% of your money overnight in a week. Guys, it never happens. Ever, ever, ever. It'll never happen. Okay, we have this deep emotional expression for him. He's telling his wife, telling everybody he's not who he says he was. And he's just pretending. That's like a heartfelt bonding moment.
Well, that's good. He
He
says
definitely.
he's been doing it for the past 2 years. It's like, and he's still pretending. They're still buying the fancy meals, and said, how is he getting away with it for 2 years without any money?
Without any questions, right? Um, so tell me, guys, this is the second time we've seen Reg with the white stripe. Um, he just got hit by lightning again, so that would make how many? 67 times. What was his purpose in the movie? What
It's
what
all
did
I can say is
Greg?
some writer came up with this lightning strike joke, and it's stuck.
Oh, yeah, okay, I get it. I get it now. Calbot posted that GIF 6-7. Yeah.
Yeah.
Calbot says 6767. Oh, 6-7. What does it mean? Absolutely nothing. That's what I'm thinking, Alex. It was no purpose but distraction comedy. Just a little side gag. Makes it fun. And I don't think these two girls have any lines at all. I don't think they say anything. But they've got balls of steel to go out on a rainy night in an area they're unfamiliar with. Those kids have guts. Maybe they're the silent type, the kids that you got to watch out for. It's the ones that don't talk that you got to be concerned about. Maybe there are crossover leftovers from, Village of the Damned, the kids from Children of the Corn. Maybe we have a crossover.
Yeah, I still like who posted the twins from The Shining earlier. Someone posted
Yep.
those photos. You can see it makes a different movie if you check into the hotel in The Shining and you're next to Roman and his family and his creepy little girls.
Miss Swift is pointing out they just said, here's the fence. So they're on a mission to find something. They're the silent type, not strong silent type, but the silent kids who have a lot going on. They've got it all figured out. Oh, Frag Lord. Hey, Frag Lord. Just posted a GIF. Oh, yeah. The Far Side. Oh, love The Far Side. That's a good one. Here comes Roman. Actually, this is his first time really doing anything, this movie, right? He wasn't the one on the water skis. He wasn't the one. Well, he was on horseback. Yeah, he went horseback riding with them. He wasn't the one that ate the 96-ounce steak. He's like one of those annoying family members who wants everybody to do everything, and yet they don't want to partake in anything. Oh, yeah, now get him out. Isn't that the trick, getting them out? Okay, Miss Swift, for anybody that is too young to remember that shirt, remember Baby Jessica, well educated at a young age. Does everybody know the backstory of Baby Jessica from Midland, Texas, I believe. The little girl who fell down the abandoned well. It was like 18 inches. It was 18 inches wide. And she fell in a well. She was there for, what, 3 days? And they got her out. And I think they got her out by digging a side tunnel and digging down below her. And then, or maybe they had to dig to the side of where she was and get someone small enough to get her hooked into a little basket to pull her out. That was 80, I'm going to say 87, 86 or 87. Yeah, little pop culture. That was in October of 87. Yeah, Johnny Devick Simpsons had a good spoof on The Boy in a Well. Yeah, there's a lot of spoofs that went on. It was a big deal back in the day. Oh, look at Roman saved him. You maybe should have told Chet, right? Just saying. Okay, for real, like we have like 12 minutes. That is Bart the Bear making another appearance. Bart the Bear, funny enough, has his own Wikipedia page. He was born in 1977, passed away in May of 2000. And I know there was a comment earlier in the chat whether he was a grizzly. He is a Kodiak bear. He was in the movies White Fang, Legends of the Fall, and The Edge. I think we had talked about, that was the movie we had talked about before, Anthony Hopkins, Alec Baldwin, adventure survival movie where I think they crashed in the wilderness of Alaska and they had to survive against a bear. Well, Bart the Bear. Fun fact, Anthony Hopkins was also in Legends of the Fall, so he has worked with this bear on 2 occasions. Oh, geez, Miss Swift, yeah, the search for the Doom Titan sub almost came close. Oh, yeah. So we are going to have resolution on his story, apparently. So remember the story he told about shooting the bear and it skimmed him and made the bear bald? Well, here you go. We have a bald bear, which obviously is just a prosthetic on the bear's head. Very well trained bear. And as far as the research goes, the bear has never attacked anybody, was very well trained, was actually born in captivity, and I guess had a very good temperament, which you don't say that to every bear. So this might be our final chase, final scene. Yep, Alex Peacock is posting that GIF, Big Bear chase. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how many of these plot points is like these are just like a little. Somebody had a little story about we got to include this bear, and it's like did they have the bear story and have to write the entire movie around it to bring us the bear story?
They very easily could have made it a pivotal part of the movie. Um, yeah, and it's not pivotal, but it is a funny addition to this. Johnny Devick, yeah, the sequel Grizzly Man was a whole lot darker. Got really dark. GH, I'm sure they could have just shaved his head temporarily. I don't know if that's even possible. He's also got a prosthetic on the other end too. It was probably easier just to put the prosthetics on. Yeah, Eric, that is a real bear. Very well trained. So how many scenes do they actually have a real bear and the actors in the same scene? Probably very few. There's a moment where you actually see like an animatronic bear, which is pretty obvious. And I think at one scene there's actually a guy in a bear suit, it seems like, but they're fleeting. So you could pass it off as it's a real bear. Right. GH, that bear could not have actually been bouncing on a person, right? There's no way.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, where where you can see the actor, you can see it's a fake bear, and then when you see the bear, then it's a fake actor.
Exactly. Yep, that's a prosthetic butt on the bear. Yeah, and Eric, he's got his own IMDb profile. He is a very famous bear. Actually, and I had started to do research. I think Bart the bear actually had offspring. I was starting to research that. Okay, Bart the bear had no biological offspring. However, his trainers Doug and Lynn Seuss adopted and trained several orphaned and captive raised bears that they treated as his successors and siblings, and they carried on his legacy in Hollywood. And they were in movies like Game of Thrones, Dr. Dolittle 2, We Bought a Zoo. Okay, so all is well, all ends well. Yeah, Eric, the bear also played in The Edge. I remember that was a pretty good movie. Yeah, I think it was. It was action packed. I have not seen that in probably a couple decades. I think that would be a good watch party. Yeah, who knows? We might see Bart the bear again.
I'm gonna say, yeah, we're just with another bear movie. We're gonna go to Cocaine Bear. We mentioned that last time.
Yep, we were talking about Cocaine Bear last time. Yeah, Miss Swift, that's the Cocaine Bear. I fucking love cocaine. Yep, more bear, more cocaine. Okay, so they all have a happy ending. I think thanks to the bear. That probably helped. Okay, this is a great ending. Man, this movie was quick. Not a whole lot of wasted space, wasted time. It was just fun from beginning to end. All right, guys, what did you think? We've got about 3.5 minutes.
I'm wondering,
Oh,
yeah, how this was seen. If this is just looks like it could be the wrap party for the movie.
I just exited out of Discord. Let's get back online, guys. There we go. Yeah, this is a fun little end scene. Whoop. There we go. Miss Swift, I love that gif of the bear kind of saying bye. Miss Swift says, yeah, nice, fun revisit. Johnny Devick, well, it was a sweet old style comedy, very lighthearted, great way to spend a summer day. And actually today, June 21st, is, according to many, according to what scientific research, is the longest day of the year. So we are smack dab in the beginning of summer. Johnny Devick, not sure it's my cup of tea, but we'll see it again in quiet and make up my mind. And we're so glad you're here. Yep, GH, not bad. The bald-headed bear, yes, it was Bart the bear. Yeah, Alex, still love this movie. It was a great time. Nothing heavy, nothing, nothing overly complicated. We could do a deep dive. I think I love doing deep dives on the different levels and layers in movies. This had a few, not too many. Just sit back and enjoy the fun. All right, and speaking of fun, oh boy, we have another grand outdoor adventure next week in the form of Friday the 13th. The original, the OG from 1980, just when you thought it was safe to go to summer camp. Wrong. Alex, are we getting the July schedule early? If I can wrap it up this week, I'll post it. If not, I will probably disclose it next week. Yeah, maybe I'll do July and August, get them both wrapped up. So, yeah, so far, I have some in August, so far, yeah, by next week. Definitely. Hey, we have the raccoons. We will wind up this movie with a little raccoon talk. And for some reason, my subtitles are not giving me the subtitles on what these little raccoons are saying. But I'm sure it's pretty, yeah, I'm sure it's mind altering, right?
They're just talking about the fate of the bear.
Oh, the fate of the bear. What happened to the bear?
They said, yeah. They said they asked. One asked, why is the bear sitting in the lake? They said he got shot in the butt. And now it's bald on both ends.
Yeah, Johnny Devick. The movie ended with a raccooning. Yeah, what a fun way to end a movie. When back in the 80s, the end credit scenes were not commonplace. And any kind of any end scene that you didn't sit through the credits to see, then I would usually get updates from my friends who did see, hey, you should have seen the end credits. You should sit through the end credits. But back in the 80s, we didn't do that. I mean, I didn't do it. But yeah, I know, Matt, you usually would sit through the credits.
I
right?
would sit. in every movie, it's like I didn't get up out of my seat until the lights came on,
Yeah.
and that was
Um,
basically just waiting for the parking lot to clear out.
yeah, see, so you didn't miss anything. But, silly me was thinking, hey, credits are here, time to book.
Yeah,
But yeah, not anymore. I
like
mean,
the
movies these days, you better sit through the entire thing until the very end.
it's like the same thing. It's like when the airplane lands and everybody gets up, and I'm like, we all can't cram through that one tiny door all at once. Sit down, wait your turn.
Yep. And everyone stands in the aisle, just crowding everybody. Um, yeah, and you can't move anyway. So yeah, Calbot, always sit through the credits. That is my passing words of wisdom to you. We're gonna have to sit through the credits now. Um, yeah. So next week we're gonna do Friday the 13th, which still boggles my mind. We have not had a watch party for it. Um, there you go. Oh, Johnny Devick. Roman is the antithesis of Chet, a simple, humble individual who is engaged in his family life. Meanwhile, Roman is an obnoxious and crass individual who is consumed with the almighty dollar. Absolutely. That does. It sums it up. There you go. Um, all right, guys. Well, we are going to be doing this same time next week, same channel. I will be here, and we're going to have some fun next week. So break out your DVDs. This is on all available streaming platforms, so you should have no problem finding it. And I bet we all have it in our collections by now, in some form or another. Any final thoughts there, Mr.
Uh,
Matt?
I was going to say, as far as Friday the 13th in my collection, no, but of course Saturday the 14th is in my collection.
And I am waiting for the perfect day, since the watch parties, we don't do them on Saturday. That would be the perfect time to do it on Saturday the 14th. But I don't see any in the foreseeable future. But yep, that's also on my list of movies to try to fit in this year. Yeah. So, yep, Johnny Devick, final thoughts. Happy camping all. Absolutely. And we're going to have fun camping next week. All right, it's been my pleasure. So, everybody out there, have a great week. Be safe. Be good to yourself. Give yourself lots of grace. And thank you, Matt, for joining me today. This was a lot of fun.
Yep, always a good time.
Yeah, always a great time. Thank you guys for everybody out there who showed up, wants to do a rewatch. It'll be up on YouTube. And we will see you all next week. Bye bye.
Bye.